of United Profit Groups and Organizations. And now let's go to ring announcer Mike Wilson.
And introducing the fabulous Freebirds, Buddy Roberts, and the current UWF heavyweight champion, Terry Bam Bam Gordy.
Now they're going to
one fall or 10-minute time limit.
They're going to teach everybody what messing with us is all about. You've seen the flag on the back. We were born rebels, we'll die as rebels. Nobody pushes us around, nobody jacks us around.
There's the bell, ladies and gentlemen. Don't forget, coming up in a few moments, that special feature that I did just a few days ago with Missy, Hyatt, Hot Step Eddie Gilbert, and Hollywood John Tatum. I think you'll
What's
find
going
that
on
most
there,
interesting.
Jim Ross? Looks like a lot of trouble to me.
It's a very controversy would be a mild definition of that arrangement, and I do mean arrangement, but be that as it may.
Side headlock there, it won't last for long. Come on, Bam Bam. See, he couldn't even knock him down. Good move.
I'll tell you, last week, his battle with Hacksaw Duggan was one of the greatest one-on-one confrontations
Broke down the ring.
I have ever seen in my life.
What do you expect? It's the UWF, and he's the Universal Heavyweight Champion. Makes him the #1 man in wrestling. And we've always been the #1 tag team. Whoa! I bet they heard that back in Atlanta. Right there on Channel 36, I bet they heard that. Good snap mare. Buddy has got to be one of the toughest guys in wrestling, can take more punishment than anybody I know and keep on ticking. He can take a licking and keep on ticking. See that? Gary Young ain't got a chance. He might have got a couple victories and he might be on a little upswing. Not against them. Whoa!
Good, what a clothesline. What a clothesline by Bam Bam.
Oh, knee to the side of the head. See? Look at that teamwork. No other team has this kind of teamwork with the viciousness, the aggressiveness, the experience. Good elbow.
UWF Tag Team Championship coming up later in this hour. Near fall, a 2 count by referee Carl Fergie.
I'm interested about that. I wonder if Hollywood will be out there with him. He wasn't last time.
Well, that arrangement.
That's a good move, buddy. Teach that boy what to see and what not to see. What he's seeing right now is bad street. Look at him. That's why he's the Universal Heavyweight Champion. 285. Whoop. You unblocked it. No effect. No effect. No effect.
Well, looks like he's rocking in there pretty good to me. To Gary Young from Houston.
He even knocked him down.
Look at Buddy holding the tights, Michael. Can't deny that.
He's trying to push the corner and tell him to go tag out. See? Dumb kid. Trying to make a name because he's against the #1 thing in wrestling, the fabulous Freebirds. It's the wrong way to make a name, boys, for any of you out there listening. It's a decent chop, but see, no effect. They've got him beat down.
Gary Young is fighting back. And now, oh, I thought he had a tag. Buddy pulled the tights.
Yeah, that's what you get for thinking when you ain't got a brain.
Let's try to be objective out here, Michael. All right, let's just try to be objective. I'm calling it as I see it, no other way. There's Brett Sawyer.
Hey, now he ain't even got a tag. What's he doing in the ring? Come on, finish him off. Get rid of Sawyer.
Sawyer outside.
Oh, no, they're going for the Bam Bam Slam.
Boy, this is devastating. If they
Bam Bam Slam.
If they hook it, it's devastating.
They got it. Goodbye, Gary Young. Welcome to Bad Street. The boys are back in town.
Bam Bam Slam. Nobody else executes that maneuver.
And nobody gets up either. Oh, now, Brett, say, you want to be a hero? Okay, boy, be a hero. Put him up there, bud. Bam, bam, slam. Come on, bud.
Wait just a minute. Oh, on the way to the ring, Ted DiBiase and Dr. Dev. The doctor's making a house call. Dr. Dev and Ted DiBiase, and it's breaking loose. The capacity crowd is going crazy as Dr. Dev and Ted DiBiase. Dr. Dev taking care of Bam Bam Gordy. And Ted DiBiase working over Freebird Buddy Roberts. The doctor's back. The doctor is back. Double tackle. The champion's on his head. DiBiase and Doc, and now Doc's on the outside. Remember, they put Doc Dr. Death in the hospital right here. There's Michael Hayes. And now they're taking over on Michael Hayes. They're going to pile drive Gordy. Gordy and Dr. Death is fist and fire on the outside. And there's DiBiase and Hayes. What hatred between these two men. What a battle we've got here on the UWF. And now they've got Michael Hayes up. They were setting Hayes with a pile driver on the concrete. DiBiase and Williams. I mean, it's a Pier 6 brawl. The Doctor's back. The Freebirds are on the run. Dr. Death and Ted DiBiase. What a reappearance on the UWF, and we'll be back. They're standing tall, and we'll be back right after this timeout.
Too much, till you spend half your life just covering up now. Born in the USA, I was born in the USA, I was born in the USA.
Need one on sign.
Yeah, all right.
She'll be here any minute.
Ladies and gentlemen, Jim Ross back with you, Universal Wrestling Federation, along with Hollywood John Tatum, and
That's me.
we're getting ready to go to lunch with Missy Hyatt. We're waiting on Missy to
Missy's fixing to take us to lunch.
It's a little bit late, but, you know, fashionably so, I suppose. We're also going to take this time to try to get to the bottom and get the final answer from Hollywood John and Missy, and that's why I've invited them to spend this time, and luckily, Missy's going to buy lunch, so if she ever gets here. But
She's going to be here. It hasn't been about a minute.
while we're waiting, what is going on? Situation? You know, this guy says this, you hear this rumor and that rumor. What really is going on?
Well, Spanky, let me straighten it all out once and forever. This whole deal is a business deal between Missy and Eddie. Eddie, I never have kind of really trusted the guy, but he needs money, and that's what Missy's got. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what Missy's got, and that's what I like. I'm the best professional wrestler there is. I'm the best looking man there is, and that's the two things that pleases her. You understand?
I get your drift. I think I know where you're coming from there, John.
Okay.
So
Okay.
that covers, I think that covers all the bases in that situation.
It certainly does.
And I'm looking forward to also visiting with her in just a few moments. Got a pretty good appetite, as a matter of fact. And,
You're going to need one to eat the
all right. Well, I'm looking forward
We
to
don't play.
Is that their car there?
That's it. I told you. Well, it wasn't 5, it was 2. I told you. I'll tell you, it's here. Hey, baby. Are you sweetheart?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry if I'm too late.
You went for 2 minutes. 2 minutes.
Oh, okay.
I was just explaining to Jim Ross. He seems to think there's a problem between you and me. Tell him he thinks there's something going on between you and Eddie. It's not business.
Oh, hey, listen, it's just strictly
Well, tell him who your main man is.
Oh, you are good. You are
Kiss me, baby.
You.
Well, I guess that settles.
See?
Seems like it pretty much settles everything.
You and all those people are so stupid.
Well, I'll tell
Let's
you.
go to lunch. Hey.
Boy, Missy, the TV in there is great. Hi, John. Hi, Jim. How you doing?
Good to see
All
you.
right. Boy, the TV.
What's going on?
Oh, we had some business. And no, we had some business to take care of. We thought we'd let you come on too, John.
TV is great. You ever watch the TV in
Yeah,
this?
a couple of times.
Yeah.
2 hours.
Hey. No business. Hey.
Are you watching a movie or what?
Pleasure. We're here for.
No, come on. We thought you'd let it come on.
Yeah, I do want to talk some business. You get inside. I'm fixing to let you get in car.
Hey guys, wait, this is not a lot of room. I guess they need to have a private conversation, that's for sure, and I need to find somewhere else to go to lunch. We'll be back with more right after this.
Smiling dark journey. She's smiling because on Friday, September 5th, right here in the Sam Houston Coliseum, she gets what she's been demanding, and also Houston wrestling fans get what they've been demanding, as she will team up with the missing link in a mixed tag team battle up against Hollywood John Tatum and Missy Hyatt, and what could be the show stealer of the season.
That's right, a mixed tag. That means that whining, Missy Hyatt, I finally get 5 minutes with you. That means every time John tags you, that means I get 5 minutes. It'll be the longest 5 minutes of your life, but I'm telling you, that 5 minutes will be the happiest of my life. Because you leave the ring, I'm going to mess your face up, and nobody will recognize you.
Well, Dark Journey will get her opportunity to get Missy Hyatt inside the ring on Friday, September 5th. Tommy Rogers. They will see action on that big, blockbusting Friday, September 5th card right here in Sam Houston Coliseum as they get a chance to regain their tag team title and belts up against Sting and Hot Stuff Eddie Gilbert. This issue will be settled.
Well, you know, the issue will be settled. Right now, the belts are held up. That means the titles are in no man's land. But I can think of no better place than right here in Houston, Texas at the Sam Houston Coliseum for the Fantastics to get a chance in front of some of the greatest fans in the world to take those belts once and for all. You know, September means that it is the fall season, and Eddie Gilbert and Sting, there's going to be a lot of falling for you guys, and there's nowhere to go but down, and that's where Tommy and Bobby plan to put you guys when it's all over and walk out with those belts. That's right. You know, Mr. Burkholz, all the people out there by now have seen what happened, how we lost the belts, and everybody knows that Miss has got Hyatt International and Gilbert is Hot Stuff International. Well, let me tell you something. Eddie Gilbert, listen up and listen up close, brother. You think money's going to buy you those titles? Well, you're wrong, brother, because money don't buy you those titles. And the Fantastics right here in Houston, brother, when we come out, we're going to come out for business, brother, and it's going to be your hide and Sting's hide we're after. And after it's all over, brother, with all these people's support out here, we're going to walk out with those UWF belts right around our waist, just like they were before. And you know, I want to add just one more thing. Missy, if you want to come on down ringside, come on down. John Tatum, if you want to come down ringside, come on down. Because these people right here are going to stand behind the Fantastics, and we can't take a licking and keep right on ticking, and that's exactly what we plan to do. Come on, brother, because we're going to fight fire with fire.
So that's Friday, September 5th, right here in Sam Houston Coliseum, the Fantastics up against Hot Stuff Eddie Gilbert.
Burkholz, I'd just like to say one thing. You are one of the original sharp-dressed men.
Well, thank you very much. And he will be in for a battle of his life because so much is riding on that tag team showdown, the belts and the titles on that tremendous night of Houston wrestling action, Friday, September 5th. Friday, September 5th, you will see a steel cage battle. You will see 2 title matches. You will see 2 additional tag battles on top of that. But the one title match that's going to draw the attention along with that tag team title match will be for the TV title match as Terry Taylor faces the dangerous and feared one-man gang.
Yeah, and he's also very, very big, as everybody knows. There is going to be a cage match. It looks like September 5th is going to be a night to see who's going to survive in the UWF. I've had this title for 4 months now, and everybody's been behind me 100%. And if I've ever needed your support ever before, I am really going to need it against the one-man gang. Now, Akbar's made himself perfectly clear. He wants to run the Universal Wrestling Federation, and he feels like he has the big guns to do it. But he doesn't have the titles. He's not in position now to where he can control the bargaining. Like a long story short, this is going to be one of the longest nights of my life, and I know that Akbar is going to do anything he can through the one-man gang to get to this. So I know my hands are full, my work is cut out for me, but the fans have been good to me, and I love you for your support, and I'm going to need it because I think with your support, I can take this big guy out because he has to wrestle this away from me, and I'm not so sure that he can do just that.
So good luck, Terry, as he goes up against one-man gang for the Mid-South for the Universal Wrestling Federation TV title, and we're hoping that sensational Terry Taylor will be one of the many favorite wrestlers who will be here early signing autographs that night.
Yes, sir. I'm looking forward to it.
Friday, September 5th, Sam Houston Coliseum is when Houston Wrestling returns to action.
Got tired here on the Universal Wrestling Federation. He said he was going to come back and he was going to be all dressed up, and here he is.
Hello, Jimbo Rossi.
Hacksaw.
Let me get this thing figured out here. Slide this on my old head. I'm all thinned out, you know.
You look splendid, splendid.
Thank you very much. You know, the other week I heard old prissy sissy Michael B.S. Hayes out here saying...
B.S.?
B.S. to me. We won't talk about that on the television. But I heard that. He said old Hacksaw didn't have no class. So old Hack got a little fancy danned out. Come out here to talk to you on TV. Show the folks a little bit of a Hacksaw dressed up. It's good to be here, Jimbo.
You look great. I tell you what, ladies and gentlemen, we've got the UWF Tag Team Championship in just a few moments. As a matter of fact, let's go to the ring and get the introductions out of the way.
Ladies and gentlemen, our next match for the UWF Tag Team Championship. Introduce...
You know what? You have the privilege, just the great privilege of introducing Hyatt and Hot Stuff's tag team.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, as she said, introducing Hyatt and Hot Stuff's team. First of all, at 225 pounds, from every girl's dream, Hot Stuff, Eddie Gilbert. Also introducing at 250 pounds, from every man's nightmare, Sting.
UWF making their way to the ring. Tommy Rogers and Bobby Fulton, the Fantastics.
Here they come, Jimbo, and they are starting fresh.
What a phenomenal crowd we have here, ladies and gentlemen.
As usual, this Tulsa is a hopping town and great to be here.
A lot of exciting things coming up tonight in Little Rock, this Sunday in Alexandria, Lake Charles, this Thursday. What a phenomenal event in Jackson, Mississippi. The big one Friday night in Memphis, Tennessee, Mid-South Coliseum. A lot of big benefits this week in Minden, Louisiana, Black Mine in Tennehaw, Texas, Tecumseh and Grove, Oklahoma coming up soon, and back in West Texas. It's all over the country. UWF action is spreading like wildfire. And Jim Hacksaw Duggan, and I gotta say, I've never seen you look better, big guy, than you are right here, right now.
Thank you, Jimbo. You know, I'm no stranger to tuxedos. I've worn these out in the ring a few times. But like you said, the UWF, it's on a roll. We're on fire, and we're going all over the country. It's great. Makes old Hacksaw excited.
There you see Missy Hyatt, and I was going to say in the feature, I don't know if that feature decided anything, except there is trouble in paradise, in my estimation, between Mr. Tatum and Ms. Hyatt and Hot Stuff Eddie Gilbert's involvement there.
Well, I think they got a little bit more to worry about right now with the Fantastics. They're fired up. They think those belts belong to them, and I think they're going to go get them tonight.
Well, I tell you, they're ready to go. And remember, right here on television, the title on the line.
They're ready, the crowd's ready, I'm ready, and I know you're ready, Jimbo.
That's right.
440 pounds, members of Bobby Fulton, a Fantastic.
Yeah.
For the UWF Tag Team Championship, 1 smaller television time remaining.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, the preliminaries are out of the way. We're ready for action. I'll tell you, we got a big match here next week. Terry Taylor against Hollywood John Tatum for the TV title right here next week.
I guess they're going to let Bobby start this match. They got their strategy all figured out, boy. The Fantastics, they work together real well.
Rights and lefts, they're exchanging blows here on the UWF.
Yeah, that's my kind of match, baby. That's my kind.
I'll tell you, this is a brawling situation between Gilbert and Sting and the Fantastics. And Hot Stuff wants to slow things down.
I don't blame them. Bobby and Tommy, they're back there in the dressing room. They're firing.
Hot Stuff Eddie Gilbert, his partner, Big Sting on the outside. Look at him hold his head.
Like I said, fire in their eyes and fire in their souls. These guys are hot. Those belts are theirs, and they're coming after them.
And there is no Hollywood John Tatum at ringside, only Missy Hyatt. Interesting situation there.
Makes you wonder what's going on there, huh, Jim?
Oh, yeah. High elevation. I'll tell you, the challengers, as you said, Jimbo, they're on fire. The Fantastics are ready for this battle, and they are taking it to the champion. Gilbert is being battered from pillar to post, and the UWF titles in jeopardy here on our television program. Thank you, everybody, wherever you are, for joining us.
This is great. Old Tommy Rogers, he's got that headlock, and he's sensing it up good. You know, what's thing about the Fantastics, they're not intimidated. They may not be as the people, but they come out and they give it 100%. There you go.
Right to the head. I don't know how happy Missy is right now with Eddie's performance here.
She seems to keep a low profile when things aren't going her way, Jim.
Oh, really? As I said, I think that the Fantastics favor Hollywood John is nowhere in sight. We're going to be taking a commercial timeout here, ladies and gentlemen, in just a few minutes. That's right. There's the big hammer of the team. Hey, this kid has really improved, Jim.
He's come a long way, Jim Ross. You know, this guy, he's come in here, he was a little green around the edges, and he's learned a lot. But, of course, it takes a lot of shortcuts, too.
Oh, yeah. Right across the bridge of the nose. That'll rearrange your facial features in a hurry.
Nice hip toss there. Nice drop kick, baby. All right.
That's explosive. Jimmy Rogers, maybe with the most explosive drop kick in wrestling. I don't know anybody that drop kicks like that young man.
He had that leg hook, but he needs to get the head in there, too, to make that a full cradle, to get the 1-2-3 pinning combination.
Look at this teamwork. Look at this teamwork. The Fantastics, and there's Missy. Ladies and gentlemen, I've just been notified we've got to take a commercial commitment for the television station. Don't go away. We'll be right back. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Jim Ross and Hacksaw Jim Duggan with you to the jam-packed Tulsa Convention Center. The UWF Tag Team titles on the line.
And a lot's happened since we've been gone, Jimbo Ross. A lot of excitement. That's why TV's great, but there's nothing like being here at the matches. You don't miss a thing.
And we mentioned that Hollywood John Tatum was not at ringside, but we just saw him walk by here.
What's here?
Hollywood John strolling up to ringside. This could be a very interesting situation. Look at Missy. That's a little bit sickening, but that's their business. We're looking at action in the ring, and what is going on in the ring is all we really care about as far as this program is concerned.
Well, no matter what happens out there, Jim Ross, I gave him my word. I'm going to stay up here with you, and my word's good. I'm going to stay here and behave myself.
Tommy Gilbert, Eddie's father, was really chastising his son during the commercial break. He's a fine official. And Missy there, look at Missy and John. Boy, this is a strange arrangement, and the title's on the line here. Sting now with the armbar.
Well, at least the Fantastics seem aware that John's out there, so maybe they can keep their defenses up a little bit. I smell something rotten, though, Jim.
I'm sure their game plan had that contingency ball, because where you see one of Hyatt and Hot Stuff, you see a whole entourage normally.
Well, rats like to travel in packs, Jim.
There was a tag, but the referee was out of position. That's not his fault. That's not his fault. A double clothesline. Oh, the double clothesline. This may be all for Bobby Fulton. He kicked out at a near fall there.
That's that never say die attitude. Never quit. Never quit.
Eddie Gilbert, who has been reprimanded by his father on numerous occasions in this contest.
Oh, nice move there, Jim. He dropped down, and Eddie Gilbert's momentum has carried him right into that turnbuckle. There's a tag.
There's another tag. Did he see it? He didn't see that tag.
That's twice that's happened.
Oh, it's hard to see all the action.
They're definitely taking advantage of it.
Boy, this is breaking down in Tulsa. The title's on the line. UWF action at its finest.
It's hard for the referee to get order back out there, Jim. Things are breaking loose.
There's no way he can do it all. There's no way one referee can see it all. There's a drop kick to Sting. Sting's on the outside.
Two great exchanges of blows there between Gilbert and Fulton. They're both down.
What a collision. Man, what a battle we've got for the UWF titles.
Wait, they're on the floor fighting back here.
There's referee Carl Fergie. What's
going on here, Jim? What's that?
Oh, he hit his dad. His dad's got that purse. I think he hit his own father with that purse. Fighting all the way back here. There's a pinfall. They're pinning predicament.
Behind him.
There's John Tatum. Missy Hyatt. He got powder in his face.
What's going on here? What's going on?
They're fighting all over the building. They're all over the building where the fight. There's been powder thrown.
Get back there, Tommy. Get back there. Tommy Rogers back here fighting with Sting.
There's a pin.
This is a riot.
Oh, the crowd is rabid. Ladies and gentlemen, we got a pinfall. And we'll be right back with more UWF action. Don't go away. We'll be right back. Tommy Gilbert's here. What you're saying is that
Bobby has got powder all in his face, and it's all over the mat covering this. There's no way that I can let that stand like that. There's no way. I'll just have to go to the UWF and hold the belt up. I am not going to let that finish stand.
You're holding the belt.
The match was a 1, 2, 3. But whenever I see Bubba's face running all over,
The referee is holding the belts up, Hack. The UWF tag title's held up here.
Complicated situation.
It sure is. We don't have a lot of time. Akbar's made a challenge with that big...
Akbar made it down. Let me tell you something. Excuse me, Jim Ross, for losing my composure. You talk about Skandar Akbar making a challenge. I don't care who he gets. If he wants one-man gang, I'll take the one-man gang. If he gets some mystery partner, I'll take him on too. Excuse me for roughly.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's been one heck of an hour. Hacksaw Duggan standing up for the challenge. We'll be back next week with more UWN. We'll see you next week.
Friday, September 5th, right here in the Sam Houston Coliseum, you will see that steel cage battle between Steve, Dr. F. Williams, and Freebird Buddy Roberts. You will see 2 title matches. You will see 2 tremendous tag team showdowns in addition to that, along with other matches. But for the Universal Wrestling Federation TV title and belt, Terry Taylor will have the biggest challenge of his career up against one-man gang.
Well, first of all, the UWF Championship seems to elude Devastation Incorporated simply because Terry Gordy doesn't have any guts. But let's get down to Terry Taylor. If it takes beating Terry Taylor to get a shot at that UWF, well, we shall do so. And Terry Taylor, if you're gullible enough and you're a glutton for punishment, if you want to get beat and beat bad, well, I got the original punk slapper right here. One-man gang, and here's a man that walks tall on Halstead Street, Chicago. So come on, Terry Taylor. Well, let me tell you something. Terry Taylor looks like a punk, and I want nothing better than slap his punk face and walk out the new champion. These people, they've been asking me, one-man gang, why have you turned against your country? Why are you with General Akbar? Well, let me tell you people something. The good old greenback. I don't have any loyalties. When I come back from Vietnam, none of you people showed me nothing. You didn't take me in, so I don't care. All I want is the money, and I'm coming out the TV champion September the 5th right here in Houston, no doubt about it.
One-man gang up against Terry Taylor for the Universal Wrestling Federation TV title on Friday, September 5th. In addition to that steel cage battle, Terry Taylor will battle one-man gang for the TV title, tag team title and belt. The issue will be settled when Hot Stuff Eddie Gilbert and his partner Sting go up against the former champions, the Fantastics.
That's right, Petey. Finally, it is going to be settled. This time in the Sam Houston Coliseum right here in Houston, Texas, when it's all over. When Hot Stuff Eddie Gilbert and Sting walk out of the ring with the belts, nobody, not you, not Paul Bosch, not Bill Watts, not Grizzly Smith, not Ken Mantell, not my dad, Tommy Father Knows Best Gilbert, can deny us being the tag team champions that we really are. I have been ripped off ever since I've been to UWF. Everybody's trying to take everything away from Hot Stuff. Well, I have worked very hard for everything I've ever gotten, Petey. Sting has worked for very hard ever since he started in wrestling. He's come a long way. He's the most improved wrestler in wrestling today. And after we win the tag team belts on All Up High, we're finally going to prove to everybody, and I mean prove to everybody, that we really are the tag team champions and the fans are nothing. And another thing that's really bothering me, Petey, is the fact that the UWF is actually putting Missy Hyatt in the ring to be a wrestler when we all know she is not.
First of all, Eddie Gilbert, let me explain something. I'm not going to get all hot and bothered and upset about this mixed tag. I'm not going to get all hot and bothered because this is exactly what we want. Everybody knows.
I'm the one that wanted it. DJ's been shooting her mouth off all around here. I mean, hey, I was forced to put on wrestling tights one time, but this time I want to put on the tights. I want to get her in there. Hey, and Johnny, I want to start the match because I want to slap her around, pull her hair out.
That's exactly what we're going to do. Everybody knows I can beat the missing link.
Hey, and
everybody knows that.
You too,
so I'm gonna personally, I promise you and everybody out there, I'm gonna personally let Missy start the mixed tag out. You understand?
Start, Johnny. It's gonna be over with you.
Don't be scared, DJ.
Well, that's Friday, September 5th.
My woman.
It is
my woman, not Eddie Gilbert's, my woman.
And Hollywood John Tatum, leaving no doubt in anybody's mind that he considers Missy Hyatt his woman. Well,
ring number 1 to ring number 2.
And that is the winner right there of ring number 1, the one-man gang, 465 pounds. And Michael Hayes is eliminated by Chavo Guerrero. Over the top and to the floor, referee Tommy Kittle, we're telling him right now, he is eliminated and out of the picture. The missing link adding the headbutt there. And remember, these wrestlers going for $50,000 in the grand prize. Rick Steiner just eliminated. Rick Steiner by Coco Beware. Very dangerous move as you see Chavo Guerrero in the right-hand corner of your screen, climbing up to the second with Sting. Action galore at the Sam Houston Coliseum Friday night, September 5th. Just like this, ladies and gentlemen, we expect another capacity crowd, 10,000 plus at the Coliseum. You see Sting choking Chavo Guerrero on the top rope, and Chavo Guerrero will be teaming with Ted DiBiase on September 5th. He will be facing Hot Stuff and Hyatt International charges, Jack Victory and Rick Steiner on that action-packed card. And the missing link, they're getting to work on Hollywood John Tatum. And it's going to be that mixed tag on the September 5th card, ladies and gentlemen. And the girls are going to get into it, because when the link tags start journey, Missy Hyatt has no choice. She has got to get into the ring and wrestle. There is no choice. Now we have Hacksaw Jim Duggan and Tommy Rogers going to work on Sting. Freebird Terry Bam Gordy going to work. And now Tommy Rogers taking it out on Terry Gordy. Now, Tommy Rogers and Bobby Fulton, they're going to be taking it out on Hot Stuff Eddie Gilbert on Sting on the 5th, as those UWF tag team titles have been held up, and they want those titles bad. They feel they were cheated out of the titles in the first place, and they're the rightful champions, and they want nothing more than to hand the defeat. It's going to be right there in Houston, Texas at the Coliseum on the 5th, and they want to hand the defeat to Hot Stuff Eddie Gilbert and Sting once and for all, to prove to all the people that they are the UWF Tag Team Champions and the champions of the people. Also on that card, ladies and gentlemen, speaking of the one-man gang, the winner of ring number 1 here, he is going to be going after the TV title held by Terry Taylor. And what about that should be? The one-man gang is gearing up. He wants that UWF title. He wants Terry Bam Bam Gordy. He wants that title, all the prestige that goes along with it. And he has to go through Terry Taylor. He says he'll go through Terry Taylor and take that TV title and then go right to Terry Bam Bam Gordy and take that UWF title right away from him and put it in the General's army just like the General wants. The action continues in ring number 2 now, as you see Jack Victory and Joe Savoldi going at it. Terry Gordy and the missing link, and John Tatum, Chavo Guerrero still remaining. The Fantastic still remaining in ring number 2. They're still eligible for that $50,000. And there goes Joe Savoldi. There goes Tommy Rogers, eliminated by Terry Gordy. Chavo Guerrero still involved. Sting still in there for that $50,000. The missing link has now been eliminated. And there, Chavo Guerrero with that devastating drop kick, and over the top rope they go, and now the Freebirds getting to work on Chavo. It's 2 against 1. 2 against 1 in ring number 2, and they're going to work on Chavo Guerrero, going for that big $50,000, wanting to take them. But remember, they still got to take on the one-man gang. The winner of ring number 2 still has to face that awesome 465-pound one-man gang for that $50,000. Now remember, Buddy Roberts is going to be one-on-one. It's not going to be any two-on-one on September the 5th, ladies and gentlemen, because he's going to be locked inside of a steel cage. The Houston Steel Cage, one-on-one with Steve Dr. Death Williams. And there you see Terry Gordy. He's telling the one-man gang that he wants him, and it's going to be him and the gang for the $50,000. And the one-man gang is going to have to go through Terry Taylor to get to Terry Bam Bam Gordy. And there's Ted DiBiase. Ted DiBiase not able to be in the Battle Royal due to the injuries the Freebirds implied on him earlier. He goes. He eliminates Terry Gordy from ring number 2, and Buddy Roberts now taking Ted DiBiase out. And Chavo Guerrero drop kicks Buddy Roberts over the top rope, and now they're working on Ted DiBiase on the outside of the ring, and Gordy gets Roberts. And Ted DiBiase taking care of business. inside the ring, the 465-pound one-man gang against Chavo Guerrero. Now, this is for the $50,000, ladies and gentlemen. $50,000 on the line right now. The one-man gang telling the fans he's got it. He's telling the general he's got it wrapped up. 465 pounds of the one-man gang facing a 230-pound Chavo Guerrero. Twice his size, twice his weight. And they're battling it out right now, ladies and gentlemen, for that full $50,000, a winner of the annual two-ring battle royal right here in the Sam Houston Coliseum. The crowd getting behind Chavo. They want to see Chavo take it. But that's 235 pounds and over the top rope, but Chavo Guerrero holds on. The gang. Chavo, you've got to touch the floor. Chavo still has yet to touch the floor. He's hanging on. And over the top, he's going to get the one-man gang, and the one-man gang has been eliminated. Over the top rope to the floor, the winner of the $50,000 Battle Royal, Chavo Guerrero. Chavo Guerrero has eliminated the one-man gang through 20 men. He is now $50,000 richer on Friday night, August the 8th. And remember, Friday, September the 5th in the Sam Houston Coliseum, it'll be Chavo Guerrero teaming with Ted DiBiase to battle Jack Victory and Rick Steiner in a $50,000 richer Chavo Guerrero. Being congratulated there by Carl Fergie. And don't you miss all the action on Friday night, September 5th at the Sam Houston Coliseum Appreciation Night. Meet the Stars from 6:30 to 7:30. We'll see you there.
Well, we hope you've enjoyed the last 2 hours of wrestling. And I want to tell you, the people here at the Sam Houston Coliseum have truly been the loudest group we have seen here in years, and the most enthusiastic and the happiest. But on Friday, September the 5th, here in the Sam Houston Coliseum, Houston Wrestling will resurrect the fence that made Houston Wrestling famous, the Cyclone fence. Nobody has ever gotten inside of it. Nobody has ever gotten over it to get out of it. And we tell you that it will be around the ring to hold Doc to Death, Steve Williams, and his arch enemy will be right in there with him, and that will be one of the Freebirds. That will be Buddy Roberts, and that will be the final event of the evening. But after what we have just seen here, I want to tell you that seeing the mixed tag team match with a Link and Dark Journey in against the combination of and Missy Hyatt, that's going to steal the show. Tickets are on sale starting Monday morning at 1919 Caroline. Keep that in mind, and remember that Houston Wrestling is Houston proud, because Houston is proud of Houston Wrestling.
Houston Wrestling was brought to you by...
capable of exploding with it, and that's what makes the difference. And Mendoza here has one point in his favor, and that is that when Savoldi hit against those ropes, he did damage to himself, and we've got to see whether he has the time to recover.
So the aggressive style of Joe Savoldi backfired on that particular move as he was trying to follow up, deliver that final punishment to Mendoza to possibly get a quick win. And Mendoza is a crafty ring veteran as he is trying to capitalize now on the aggressive mistake of Savoldi.
Well, when you say aggressive mistake, you take note that the man was on the offense when he was doing it, and that's the kind of wrestling that people want to see. And the crowd got suddenly silent when he hurt himself, but they're behind him now. You hear that USA. They know where Mendoza comes from, and they know where Joe comes from.
Mendoza now putting the squeeze to him, side headlock. But
Hit.
Savoldi has proven before he's a tough man to keep down. He keeps moving.
Flying bear, and now he's in a position for a sleep hold, or that could just be a reverse chin lock, depending on how it affects Joe. But this is kind of a hold, can put you to sleep while it's doing something else, while it's trying to see how tough your neck is, for one thing. And Joe is in a bad spot, but there's a lot of his body that's not under control by Mendoza, and if he can do a sharp twist and still keep his head on his shoulders, he'll come out of this. Savoldi now, as he rolls on his side, is trying to get prepared for it. You can see that it's part choke now. It slips underneath the chin, goes back up against the windpipe, and Joe is in trouble. Somewhere in the back of his mind, he's got an answer for this, and he's fighting to put it into operation. but you'll notice he did not quit. He was hurt. He was topped by Mendoza. He was brought down there close to that mat, but he's in there battling.
Mendoza now continue to hold on with that reverse chin lock as he tries to wear down Joe Savoldi, at least slow him down to keep him under some kind of control. I do want to remind you that that Friday, September 5th, that back-to-school special, when Houston Wrestling returns to the Coliseum, that is the night that you will see a steel cage battle. That is the night you will see 2 title matches. That is the night you will see that mixed tag battle, the show stealer of the season, as Missing Link can go up against Missy Hyatt and Hollywood John Tatum. Ted DiBiase will be there. Chavo Guerrero will be there. What a night to get your tickets early for that big event. Also, Labor Day week, the ticket office will be open Labor Day for this big card. USA, USA echoes throughout the Coliseum, much like I believe it's going to explode when Steve Dr. Williams goes down the aisle to step in that steel cage battle.
He caught him with a hard driving knee that time. Savoldi was doing what he does best, and that is coming in on the offensive. And now as that arm goes around the head, the nature of the hold has changed, and you see where he has hooked his hand, and he's trying to turn this into a sleep hold. But he has not got the technique, certainly not the technique that is taught in Japan, but there is always the possibility that you've got enough strength to be able to choke off the carotid artery, and that's what I was hoping for. He may not be well schooled in it, but he knows what happens if he's able to get the right spot. So Savoldi's in trouble, and the troubles are multiplying right now. You see the referee testing that arm. That's about the only way you have as a referee to tell whether the man is still conscious even a little bit. The arm is staying up. That's a signal to the referee that he has some control of his senses, and you don't call a man out when that happens. So Mendoza has to apply this hold just a little bit better if he's going to make it work.
10 minutes gone in the match.
10 minutes deep in the match. As Savoldi's got to find a way out of this hold, and quickly. The longer this hold is applied, the more devastating effects it has on the wrestler. And Savoldi now looking for a way. He's able to enter the rope. There's a well-placed shoulder block. Mendoza trying to set him up. Savoldi ducks, but a double clothesline sends both men down to the mat. Both men went for the same move at the same time.
They had their arms outstretched there, and they were hoping for the grab, but neither man expected the lightning to come from exactly the same maneuver. Sunset flip.
And as he tried to get him to roll over, Mendoza just had too much balance. We had 2, but no, he hooked him. And that's where wrestling knowledge came through.
That was close. Mendoza now, front headlock, and looking for a high suplex and a fast one, too.
He added that extra emphasis at the end.
Joe now, as he has his problem, watches the Cuban, and the Cuban belly flop for sure.
But the Cuban went high in the air, hoping to land on top of Savoldi, and then hoping to get the wave. But Savoldi was able to see him coming, and now it's up to Jumpin' Joe Savoldi to try to regain some kind of control in this match. As
Savoldi, a southpaw, as you can see, as he keeps that left hand ready. And you know, there aren't too many wrestling southpaws who throw their left-handed blow, and it sometimes catches you by surprise.
Cuban went airborne, and Savoldi caught him off that rope, as Carl Fergie warning Savoldi about the use of fists, but that has fallen on deaf ears because Savoldi is after the Cuban Mendoza.
Monkey flip.
Beautiful monkey flip at that.
And there are the flying feet of Joe Savoldi. One of the men who first introduced drop kicks to wrestling was named Joe Savoldi, but no relation to this Joe Savoldi or his father. He was a former Notre Dame All-American, and he helped drop kick into permanent weapons, as a permanent weapon in wrestling. And here is Mendoza trying to squeeze out a win over Joe Savoldi. He didn't make it.
As Mendoza just wasted too much time in doing it, and look at that move by Savoldi. He's got him wrapped up nicely. We've got the winner
of the match.
The aggressive style of Jumpin' Joe Savoldi. You can see why he's got the nickname Jumpin' Joe. He keeps moving, and that time his agility and aggressive style paid off in a big, big victory over Mendoza.
Jumping Joe Savoldi. I'll tell you, he does the name proud, and I tell you, Houston's proud of him right now.
We'll be back in just one moment. Wrestling, and the reason that we're here at this point in time is that Seth Williams, along with Ted DiBiase, has asked promoter Paul Bosch to join them here. There's apparently going to be a very special request, perhaps a special announcement to be made here forthcoming, that Dr. Death wants to visit with promoter Paul Bosch about, Teddy, but I know you've got something to say before we start this.
Well, Jim, as everybody knows, up until this point right now, Doc has refused to talk to anybody. He has had nothing to say. He wants to do all his talking in the ring, but we've talked this over, and we've got a special request. It's Doc's request, actually, but I'm very much involved. He's my partner, and we've come to Paul Bosch because Paul Bosch is, in the wrestling world, in the eyes of wrestlers and myself and Doc, like the dean of professional wrestling. He's the one promoter that we felt that we could turn to with this type of request, probably the only promoter that we could turn to, and that, being the fair man that he is, grant us this request. And it involves cage matches, and in particular, Paul Bosch's cage here in Houston. Nobody has ever got into or out of during a match.
Well, Doc, the request is?
Well, Paul, I'm asking you for 3 simple favors. So I'm asking you to go against the Freebirds. Now, everybody knows what the Freebirds have done to Teddy and myself, almost end our career. What I'm asking you is I would like to go against the Freebirds in a cage match, all 3 of them. Now, this is not all at once. This is one match after another. And I'd like to have, right here in Houston Coliseum, Houston's cage, and you know exactly how tough that Houston cage is. Now, there's been a lot of great wrestlers, Bill Watts, Hacksaw Jim Duggan, a lot of them. You people know. I know how tough it's going to be. But I'm asking you 3 simple favors.
Now, you said 3 matches, one following another. Now, you're not talking 3 men in one night, are you?
No, sir. I'm talking about one match after another. That's not one at one night. I'm talking about the one after the next week after the next.
Ah, you want to be on 3 different cards with
Yes,
a
sir.
different free bird. Each time you want a cage wrapped around you to keep people out and to keep the free birds in and to give you an opportunity to do what you believe you can do.
Exactly, and the one I want to start out with is Buddy Roberts at first, then Michael Hayes, and then at last one, Terry Gordy.
Do you know that no man has ever wrestled 3 consecutive cage matches? Not in all the history of wrestling here, and this is where cage matches actually began.
That's right, Mr. Bosch. I know that, and I know the history about the Houston cage. But I think I'm the man who can end the Freebirds' career. If I can't end the Freebirds' career, I know I'm going to take care of business. Freebirds know about Dr. Death, Steve Williams.
All right, if that's what you want, and we're ready to start with the next show. We're ready to start on September 5th, Friday, September the 5th.
I'm ready.
With the cage. If you're ready, then I can guarantee you this, because if the Freebirds sidestep this, then they'll sidestep wrestling here in Houston. We don't want them if they're not going to pick up challenges that are legitimate.
Thank you very much. That's great.
One more thing, Mr. Bosch. Doc has asked for the first match to be against Buddy Roberts, which means he beats Buddy Roberts. The next man in line is Michael Hayes. And Michael Hayes knows that if Doc beats Buddy Roberts, it's going to be his backside in that ring all alone with this man right here, and there's no way in the world he wants to do that. He's going to try everything he can to prevent having to face that match. Now, I know that nobody's ever got in that cage or gotten out of that cage, but Michael Hayes is a very cunning individual. He's a very backstabbing, around-the-corner type of guy. All I'm asking is that, I'm not asking to get in the cage, I'm just asking that you allow me to be at ringside during that first match.
That's my contract to you. You may. Yes.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, it sounds like it's set, and I think that we need to get some comments from the Freebirds. We'll do so momentarily. All right, Michael, you know the story now. 3 cage matches. Paul Bosch has granted Steve Dr. Death Williams on 3 consecutive events in this city. Cage matches with all 3 Freebirds. It is unheard of in this sport. And it's the Houston cage, the cage that Johnny Valentine and Bull Curry and every top star in the wrestling has settled it all inside that cyclone fence. Nobody's ever gotten in. Nobody's ever gotten out.
You know, you look real happy about the situation, don't you? You know, because I seen your face smiling when they were requesting Paul Bosch to give him this. You know why? Because you'd like to get rid of us, and I'm the one that made you Announcer of the Year. Now, that's a lot of gratitude, isn't it, Jim? That's a lot of gratitude by the Universal Wrestling Federation to put us in some kind of circumstances to get rid of us. Well, let me tell you something. You've been pushing us around too long. Paul Bosch, you saying, yes, I'll give him this. Ken Mantell coming out and telling us, yeah, you got $1 million contract, but you don't own the UWF. The UWF owns you. Well, let me tell all of you something, and including you, Dr. Death, because obviously that neck injury went straight to your brain. I don't know if it's a cerebrum or what part of it, but for any man or any fool to ask to meet 3 Freebirds consecutively in a cage match where you can't get in and you can't get out. The Houston cage match is notorious. It's legendary. What's going to happen the next time when you get in there with him? Because I don't know who's in your ear, Ted DiBiase, making you think, first of all, you can even get through him to get to me. Because in the match, that means anything goes. And you know what that means, brother? That means that if he wants to pile drive you 4 times, nobody can do nothing about it. Nobody can come in there, and nobody can tell him to stop. And I think everybody's seen that we don't stop. We keep on rocking. We're just like a good clock. We keep on ticking, and we keep on talking. And if you want to end your career that way, if you're stupid enough to come back like you did, then so be it. Because I tell you what, I sleep better at night when I know there's going to be violence coming up. You understand what I'm talking about? We rule this city, and we rule the whole Universal Wrestling Federation, and there ain't one damn thing you can do about it.
Absolutely right. You know what, Michael? You know what I think about Steve Williams? I think he's got suicidal tendencies to want to wrestle each Freebird individually in a cage match. Start with me. Well, let's start with the fact of 4 years ago when I played college ball. My team used to play against Oklahoma, and I was a running back. And you know who switched to play against me? Steve Williams, to try to stop and block me. Well, every time that he tried to stop me and block me, I used to go around him, under him, and over him. And I'm going to prove that in the professional ring right here in the cage match in Houston.
You got it, boy. You better be ready. And Ted DiBiase, one thing. They gave you permission to sit ringside. I'm not on that card, and I'm not asking permission to sit anywhere because I'll be wherever I want. You understand that?
Dean of wrestling promoters, a man that's a living legend, Paul Bosch. Not only has he got that cage match situation, which is simply phenomenal, with Dr. Death and Freebird Buddy Roberts, the first of which could be, and I will underscore, could be 3 cage matches. He's also signed this situation that will settle the UWF tag team situation once and for all. The Fantastics versus Hot Stuff, Eddie Gilbert and Sting. And he has signed the mixed tag team match that I personally am looking forward to seeing, Pete. That's going to be quite a situation.
Rick Steiner tossing Chavo to the rope. Chavo Guerrero with that explosive style. There he's up down in the ring, and he wants a piece of Hot Stuff Gilbert. Gilbert's not too anxious to get a hold of Chavo now. And Gilbert's still running as Chavo's back in the ring.
I'll tell you, he's got the Tennessee Volunteer shirt on, and Coach Johnny Majors down there for the Vols might want to see if Gilbert's got any eligibility left. He was clocking a 40 time pretty good there, trying to get away from Chavo Guerrero. Now Steiner.
They're going up the aisle. Steiner better be careful. He may find himself counted out of the ring real quick with Chavo the winner.
And that's not going to make Missy very happy to come back with the loser's share of the purse either.
Missy Hyatt can't be a happy woman these days anyway, with the thought of having to get in the ring with Dark Journey And that mixed tag, it's so important to point out to wrestling fans that if the missing link tags Dark Journey, Missy Hyatt has no choice. She has to come into the ring.
Exactly right.
And face Dark Journey.
We're 6 days away. 6 days away. Get your tickets early, ladies and gentlemen, for that one.
It is very doubtful whether that match will be on television, to be quite frank about it. So we're encouraging you to come down in person, because you also want to be in person to come for that fan appreciation back to school night, when all you children and kids can come down and get free pictures given out along with the autograph session with all the favorite stars.
Meet your favorite stars. And I'll tell you another reason that we shouldn't put that mixed tag on TV is there's just no telling what kind of ring attire Missy might select for that particular evening. You can bet it'll be fashionable. I can't wait to see what she has on, and I don't mean that as a... my curiosity, I think, is getting the better of me, what she's going to be wearing. Chavo for the great drop kick. Boy, he's a phenomenal... Two great athletes here.
Chavo went high in the air again, and he does get high in the air for those drop kicks. And that time, it shows that it is dangerous to elevate your body that high unless you're able to connect. Side headlock by Steiner.
You know, I remember, Pete, in anatomy classes in college, the quadricep femoris is the largest muscle in the body. It's the thigh muscle. And when Steiner gets up, look at the thigh muscle, the quadricep development that he has from doing those massive squats in the weight room. He's got some of the biggest legs and biggest shoulders of anybody I've ever seen in professional wrestling. Bodybuilding type situations. Look at his legs. He is a power lifter. He is powerfully strong. And he's got that great agility. This is going to be a tremendous test for Chavo Guerrero. And Rick Steiner, Jack Victory Friday night against Chavo and Ted DiBiase. That's going to be a classic tag team matchup. Look at the legs in this Steiner. Look at his back. This is the kind of athletes you'll see week after week right here on 39 Gold. Chavo, great kip up.
He comes charging at you like a Mack truck.
Look at Steiner.
Chavo's trying to use that. Crouch hold and a hard slam by Steiner.
And Steiner leapfrogged with as much ease as Chavo did. This exemplifies his tremendous, look at his conditioning. These are athletes that I think UWF really prides itself on having phenomenal athletes, whether it be ex-wrestlers in college or the Olympics, pro football players, college football players. I think that's one of the main things that separates the UWF, any other wrestling organization, is the caliber of athlete that you see in the ring.
And talking about tremendous athletic ability and athletic conditioning, Steve Dr. F. Williams falls into both categories, and he's going to have to, if he wants to carry off this feat of defeating all three Freebirds one at a time inside a steel cage.
I would not have, Doc and I are close friends. Both are Oklahoma ties. I've known him ever since he was recruited at OU. We're very close friends, and I strongly suggested that he not do this situation. I think it's very, very dangerous, because Michael Hayes realizes that if this Friday night, if Dr. Death beats Buddy Roberts in that cage, the next Houston event, he has got to go in that cage one-on-one with Dr. Death, and he's going to do anything he can this Friday night, in my opinion, to see that that does not happen. But that legendary Houston cage, I've never seen, since I've been associated with Houston wrestling, we have never used that cage that I have seen here, but I've seen pictures of some of the big legendary athletes, the Bull Currys, the Johnny Valentines, the Wahoo McDaniels, the Jose Lotharios, all in that cage. It's a piece of history, and a piece of history will be made this Friday night.
That steel cage being brought out for a very special reason, and that special reason is Steve Dr. F. Williams. What a disturbing thought that must be to Michael Hayes, have to step inside a steel cage, if it takes place, and have to face Dr. Death, bent on revenge.
Yeah, and that's what makes Michael so dangerous. And that's what makes this Friday night with so much pressure on Steve Williams. And it's going to be something this Friday night. It all starts the 3 cage match series, if it goes 3 matches. And Chavo Guerrero and Rick Steiner are really hammering each other. These are 2 superb athletes. And I've made my thoughts known on Chavo Guerrero many times. I think he's one of the top 4 or 5 athletes in professional wrestling, without a doubt. And this young man he's wrestling now, the just lated Chavo, is going to be a superstar, no doubt about it. He's got every tool. He's got the great amateur back. Look at his shoulders on him. Looks like you can show a drive-in movie off that back. He's a massive man.
Along with that muscular body, he has proven to be able to take a lot of punishment, but he's also the kind of wrestler that can literally wear you down, and that's what he's trying to do now with these series of bear hugs and punishing maneuvers against Chavo Guerrero.
You know, Pete, we're talking about strategies, and Michael Hayes has got to have some kind of game plan.
You run somebody around the ring, what's wrong with you now?
I wish he'd stay off that microphone. You know, he's really getting under the skin of a lot of people. You know, he is on a roll with this Missy Hyatt situation. Chavo in. What velocity. Steiner, threw him in that turnbuckle. I was going to mention, you can bet that General Skandar Akbar, who may be the master tactician, will have a plan for Terry Taylor Friday night when the one-man gang goes for the TV title and the slot as the number contender for the UWF Championship.
I want to remind wrestling fans that this big card they've heard so much about is this Friday night, the steel cage battle, 2 title matches. There will also be 2 additional tag battles, including that mixed tag. What a night. That's the same night we'll have the free pictures in the autograph session with the top stars of UWF. Make your plans to visit Coliseum. That time, Chavo Guerrero used that monkey flip to send Steiner airborne. That's a Chavo Guerrero move as he comes up with that side kick of his. And this is Chavo Guerrero at his very best when he's on the move and he's able to use every inch of that ring. That time when he went toward the rope,
and Gilbert's father disqualified him.
So hot stuff, Eddie Gilbert. Chavo Guerrero has won the match on disqualification, but now the bell is sounding for Eddie Gilbert doing what he does best, attacking men after they're down, as he goes after Chavo Guerrero, one stomp after another. And Rick Steiner holding Chavo as they both work him over. Chavo hasn't recuperated from that fall over the top rope to the concrete floor. It doesn't look like Rick Steiner and Gilbert are going to do that. Just like in that 2-ring battle royal, Chavo just explodes.
He's exploding right now, Chavo Guerrero. The tremendous Latin star is on fire, and Chavo, look at that temper. He's rising to the occasion. He's a proud man, and he's a winner.
Chavo Guerrero bouncing back. Just when it looked like he was down, he can explode right into his opponents. And that time he took care of both the hot stuff Eddie Gilbert and Rick Steiner. The winner of the match, sensational Chavo Guerrero. We'll be back in just one moment.
Bam, bam, Gordy. And Ted DiBiase working over Freebird Buddy Roberts. The doctor's back. The doctor is back. Double football tackle. The champion's on his head. DiBiase and Doc, and now Doc's on the outside. Remember, they put Dr. Death in the hospital right here. There's Michael Hayes. And now they're taking over on Michael Hayes. They're going to pile drive Gordy. Gordy and Dr. Death is fist and fire on the outside. And there's DiBiase and Hayes. What hatred between these two men. What a battle we've got here on the UW. And now they've got Michael Hayes up. They were setting Hayes with a pile driver on the concrete. DiBiase and Williams. I mean, it's a Pier 6 brawl. The doctor's back. The Freebirds are on the run. Dr. Death and Ted DiBiase. What a tremendous reappearance of the UWF. Welcome to the Universal Wrestling Federation. I'm Jim Ross, along with Michael P.S. Hayes.
That's right. You know what? You like to ruin everything that we've done for the UWF, making it the #1 show in wrestling by letting Hacksaw Jim Duggan come out here. He'd probably have to scrape up all the money he's ever had to put that cheap little tuxedo on.
Oh, that was a custom-made tuxedo.
You probably would think he looked great.
He did look great.
Yeah, you probably would.
Well, anyway.
This is what you call great. That's what you call great.
Well, I thought it was great last week
Dr. Death, Steve Williams, and Ted DiBiase.
Jumping us from behind. That's what they are. I said it from the beginning. DiBiase did it 3 weeks ago on the podium. That's why my brothers are standing down here right now. Anybody wants any trouble, you want to walk down Bad Street, don't jump us from behind. We're all out here right now. Come on.
So you got to stand in guard here, huh? Your sentries.
Right, Einstein.
All right. Well, if Dr. Death or Ted DiBiase, either one want to see you and your brothers, I think they'll come look you face to face.
Well, here we are.
All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, a great hour. We're going to talk about the tag team situation. A lot of controversy surrounding last week's situation in the tag team titles, and we'll address that with some interviews with the Fantastics, and perhaps more importantly, in regards to the situation, with Chief Referee Tommy Gilbert in the hour. We're also going to see Hacksaw
You know what,
Duggan.
he should give up. If his son right is his own fault, just let him go.
We're also going to see Hacksaw Duggan against General Akbar's newest prodigy, Savannah Jack.
Boy, did he make an impact last week.
The great Spanish star, Chavo Guerrero, will be with us as well, and time permitting in the hour, the Freebirds versus Cowboy Bill Watts, Ted DiBiase, and Dr. Death, and the big main event, the television title on the line, Terry Taylor against Hollywood John Tatum, right here today on television.
And nowhere else but the UWF.
Should be a very exciting situation, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm not real excited about these guys standing here.
Well, that's too bad. If you can't stand the heat, get out of the kitchen. You're not going to push us around. Now, either just throw it to the ring.
Let's go to the ring. That's a good idea.
Ladies and gentlemen, from Topeka, Kansas, at 265 pounds, Art Cruz. His opponent from St. Petersburg, Florida, at 222 pounds, Brett Wayne Sawyer. This match, 1 fall or 10-minute time limit.
Brett Sawyer and Art Cruz. Art Cruz sporting a new crew cut. No pun intended there, Michael.
No pun intended. I guess you think you're Groucho Marx or somebody now. Whoa, they're hitting it off. Started with a crisscross. Sawyer definitely outweighed, probably outpowered. Cruz dropped down. Sawyer leapfrog. Good drop kick. Good arm drag. He didn't do that last week against the Freebirds, did he?
Well, to be honest, he certainly didn't.
That's right. And see, the reason Bam Bam's here and Buddy is here right now to protect it, if anybody wants trouble, like I said, they can come. Bam Bam's leaving, and he's going for a little tour in the Far East to defend the Universal title, the biggest one in the universe. And he wants things straightened out. And when Bam Bam wants something, Bam Bam gets it. There's a little controversy in the ring about a little bit of hair pulling, I don't know.
Exciting action this week, ladies and gentlemen. The Universal Wrestling Federation, the television taping tomorrow night in Tulsa at the Convention Center. Another phenomenal crowd here. I'll tell you, the crowds at our television taping have been just unbelievable. Yeah. There's nothing like being here in person. Will you agree with that statement?
No, I'll agree with you on that. Now, there we go again.
Thanks.
Sawyer's whining and crying. They were in a top wrist lock. I think Cruz just used his brute strength, and Sawyer's saying he used his hair.
Phenomenal lineup this Sunday afternoon in Oklahoma City at the beautiful Myriad Center. Dog Patch USA on Labor Day. Also, what an event coming to Houston, Texas, legendary Sam Houston Coliseum. And back in West Texas in El Paso, Amarillo, and Lubbock, Texas. Big events. Universal Wrestling Federation, the fastest growing professional sports organization in the world today.
Well, Cruz has got Sawyer down with an arm twist. Good legal forearm to the tricep there.
I'll tell you, we've seen Art Cruz phases of his career in the area, and this is the first time he's very vocal as we...
Whoa! Well, that was some power, and that was some other power. He surprised me, Sawyer, by lifting the big man up with the slam, but Cruz held on. His experience has paid off. Maybe this new outlook for him is paying off, too.
New hairstyle, perhaps a new attitude.
He had to make a change. He wasn't going nowhere the way he was. And I don't see nobody coming out here with Bam Bam and Buddy Jack out here.
I don't know why you put me in these positions. This is where I do my job. This is where I do my work. And if you guys want to fight, you can fight anywhere else in the country. But why try to invite trouble here on the podium? I don't understand that.
Good elbow by Cruz. You don't understand it. You wouldn't understand a lot because you weren't born and raised the way we were. You have to fight for everything you got. Setting for a pile driver? No. Just driving the head down with the knees. Sawyer's in trouble here. All right, Bam Bam, yeah. They ain't coming. They ain't coming. Whoa!
Art Cruz now really opening up on Brett Sawyer here on the Universal Wrestling Federation. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, in just a few moments, we're going to address the tag team situation. I don't think we've ever had the controversy surrounding the tag team situation as we have now, and we'll talk about that in the hours. Our Cruz.
He's going to top. That's illegal move. Sawyer's got it. Slammed him in. A drop kick right to the top of the chest. Another drop kick. Boy, he's rolling on them drop kicks. Whoa, went for the flying body press. Cruz was smart enough to duck out of the way. Now we'll see who has more experience. Cruz setting, swinging neck breaker. Hooked him and hooked the leg. 2, 3. Good move, he hooked the leg.
It certainly was a solid victory for Art Cruz. And we'll be back with more WF action after this timeout. Last week on the Universal Wrestling Federation, controversy really broke out in the UWF Tag Team Championship situation, and I want to defer to Michael Hayes. You are an expert in tag team wrestling, I will admit.
Besides women and music.
All right, your thoughts on this situation? We're going to hear from Tommy Gilbert, the Fantastic. We're also going to see some footage in a few moments, but...
All I know, it just reminds me of this. One time the Detroit Lions beat the Dallas Cowboys, came back, found out that when they kicked the field goal, they didn't have 11 men on the field. The situation, the verdict remained the same. I think that Hot Stuff and Sting should still be champions. You asked me, I told you. But it doesn't matter who, because sooner or later, we'll be taking those belts, too.
Ladies and gentlemen, we
ain't nobody come out yet either, have they?
No, and I still don't like this situation.
Well, that's just too bad.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's look a little further into this tag team situation. Well, ladies and gentlemen, controversy once again in the Universal Wrestling Federation, and I know you've had the opportunity to think about this situation here a little bit. What's your decision? Where do we go from here?
Jim, I am going to have to go to the UWF and request that they hold the titles up, because even though Eddie is my son, I cannot allow him to hold these titles by the means that they did and the way they won them. I just cannot do it. So I'm going to recommend to the UWF that they hold the championship up.
So as far as you're concerned, officially, the Universal Wrestling Federation Tag Team Championships are now in limbo, and Hot Stuff Eddie Gilbert and Sting will not be recognized as the tag team champions.
That is right.
Ladies and gentlemen, they're here from Chief Referee Tommy Gilbert.
Man, what a battle we've got for the UWF titles.
Wait, they're on the floor fighting back here.
There's referee Carl Fergie. What's
going on here, Jim? What's that?
Oh, he hit his dad. His dad's got that purse. I think he hit his own father with that purse. They're fighting all the way back here. There's a pinfall. They're pinning predicament.
Behind him.
There's John Tatum. Missy Hyatt. He got powder in his face.
What's going on here? What's going on?
They're fighting all over the building. They're all over the building where the fight. There's been powder thrown.
Get back there, Tommy. Get back there. Tommy Rogers back here fighting with Sting.
There's a pin.
This is a riot.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, you've heard from Tommy Gilbert. The titles have been held up after what we have seen here on the Universal Wrestling Federation. The tag team titles have been held up, gentlemen, and that means that you're right back in the hunt. You're always in the hunt, right back in there ready to go, and I know you're excited about that situation. You're that close.
Well, Mr. Ross, I want to say something right now. With the way they got those titles, we were the first ones to hold the Universal Wrestling Federation tag team belts, and we don't agree with the way they took them. Now, we also don't agree with the way they kept them. I'm not out here with a crying towel, Eddie Gilbert. I want to tell the people, and I want to tell you, Gilbert, Sting, and the rest of you. I don't know who threw the powder, but somebody did. Eddie Gilbert, it wasn't no bionic elbow this time. It wasn't nothing you did. It was something that somebody coming from behind. Now, I want to say this from the Fantastics, Tommy and Bobby, to you guys. We're coming with those belts. That's right. Listen up. We're coming after those belts. It don't matter what it takes, whether it be a barbed wire match, cage match, scaffold match, you name it, guys. We're coming after those belts, and with the people's support, and with people like all these guys in here around us behind our backs. We're going to get those belts if that's the last thing we do or die. It's a guarantee from the Fantastics to you, Gilbert and Sting.
Enough said. Action's going to speak louder than words.
Ladies and gentlemen, now let's go to the ring.
Ladies and gentlemen, from Detroit, Michigan, at 265 pounds, ladies and gentlemen, the new Rick Steiner. And also a part of Hot Stuff and Hot International, from Hollywood, California, 250 pounds, Jack Vickery.
Well, Hot Stuff is at ringside. I don't see Missy or John anywhere, and Missy's kind of hard to miss. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean. You know, I think you're kind
there.
of getting a little bit too involved in that situation. You may be stirring up more than it's there.
Look at that. Yeah. Hot
What
Stuff
if he's blowing that kiss to us or Missy? Good leapfrog by Rick Steiner. Whoa! Using that football skills that made him an All-American in Missouri. And he played with the San Antonio Gunslingers.
Now, this big kid is one whale of an athlete. He's a big stallion. Shawnee Mission High School, right outside Kansas City, prep All-American, 1981 AP and UPI unanimous. Defensive tackle, All-American in the defensive line for the Missouri Tigers. He's an outstanding athlete. And Steiner tagging in Jack Victory.
It looks like Hyatt and Hot Stuff have definitely got their stables assembled. Looks like everybody's trying to get their groups together. They better. But there's only one that sits at the top.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. They've made it perfectly clear that the UWF Heavyweight Championship is not in a very safe stance because they want that title as well.
It's never in a safe stance. There's many people that want the Universal Heavyweight Championship. Why Tatum is going against Taylor, because if he wins, that'll put him as the #1 contender.
That match coming up a little bit later in the hour. Terry Taylor and Hollywood John Tatum.
Good teamwork. You notice here, too, that Hyatt and Hot Stuff, they're making a lot of combinations. They're making all these guys learn how to work. What a clothesline. And here's another All-American at Michigan, wrestling champion.
He certainly was, and boy, what a physique. Both these young men. This is the caliber of athletes you're going to find in the UWF, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes, and these are athletes. Oh, good tag. Keeping each man in fresh. And Victory has really come along since I first seen him. Got a man down, knows to kick him while he's down.
Massey being decimated by Jack Victory here in the Universal Wrestling Federation.
Well, he didn't get no better last week when he went up against Akbar's new man, Savannah Jack.
Well, Savannah tested much differently in this hour. Hacksaw Duggan, his opponent, later in the hour. That's going to be a war.
That remains to be seen, and boy, he took that hair and slammed it in that canvas. Now he's rubbing his face, teaching him. Welcome to professional wrestling, Massey. Think you got a couple of victories, you're going to do something. Now, see? Good work there. Keeping a fresh man in. Setting for a vertical high suplex. No, frontward down. Beautiful move. Frontward suplex.
Look at that.
Look at that. That's humiliating.
Sure is.
Imagine all his family watching that back in Vicksburg. You know, I started to say last week, it just makes sense that the Dallas Cowboys would have to go get a boy from Georgia. Good belly to back suplex. Hook the leg just like a wrestler. 3. They had to sign Herschel Walker, boy from Georgia, to make the Cowboys complete.
Ladies and gentlemen, Chavo Guerrero is next, and we'll be back with more UWF action after this timeout.
280 pounds from Libyan.
Ladies and gentlemen, while we're waiting the arrival of Chavo Guerrero, here's a very important announcement for you nonprofit groups and organizations.
Attention, nonprofit groups and organizations. Now you can bring all the excitement of the Universal Wrestling Federation to your home counter school to raise money for nonprofit organizations. The same stars you see on TV can be in your home counter school, helping to raise your organization money. If you would like to have an exciting, fun, and profitable fundraiser with the UWF, write to UWF Nonprofit Groups, 1919 Caroline, Houston, Texas, 77002, or call Bruce Pritchard at 713-659-7794.
His opponent now entering the ring from Los Angeles at 225 pounds, Chavo Guerrero. Back for 10-minute time limit.
There you see one of the finest athletes in all of professional wrestling, Chavo Guerrero. I know he's excited about our West Texas tour back in his old stomping grounds.
Sure,
of El
then he
Paso,
can eat
Texas.
burritos and tacos and hot sauce and all that stuff. Good arm drag on a big man. Oh, wait. We may have been wrong there. May have been a little bit of hair pulling.
I think you were right the first time. Great arm drag by Chavo Guerrero, who will be in El Paso, Amarillo, and Lubbock on our next West Texas tour.
Okay, went behind. Had a hammerlock, turned it into a hip toss. Good moves, quick move. Oh, wait, he's complaining again. Yeah, he's a Mexican. He could have darn well pulled his hair.
Well, he could have, I suppose, but I don't think he did. To be very honest with you, look.
Oh, you don't think, just like you don't think that I had anything with you winning Announcer of the Year, do you?
Not really.
Yeah, but you didn't. Did you ever win it before?
No.
All right. Now look at that.
I guess I know how to thank you enough, Michael.
Well, maybe you take me out to dinner or something. You definitely couldn't show me a night on the town because you couldn't keep up to our standards.
That's true.
And speaking of our standards, I don't see nobody taking the challenge.
I think your boys down here are relaxing. Look, Buddy's laying on the steps down here now. And
well, you know what I think is nobody wants to meet us head on. They jump us from behind. Good grapevine and twist there. That will really put some pressure on your kneecaps and also your thighs. Not to mention them quarter muscles.
A lot of exciting events, ladies and gentlemen.
I wonder
benefit.
if they'll have the guts to even show up for the six-man since it's face-to-face.
I don't think you have to worry about that. Big benefits. You heard the announcement a few moments ago how you can sponsor a nonprofit or a profit-making event for your nonprofit group or organization. The big one's coming to Luther, Oklahoma, Fort Polk, Louisiana, Galveston, Texas, Marrera at the L.W. Higgins High School, and right outside New Orleans. Also in Oakdale, Louisiana. Great cards. There's some great civic organizations there.
That's two great shoulder tackles by the Libyan. Went for the elbow. Guerrero ducked it. Clothesline. Good move. Constantly thinking. A physical game of chess. And you ain't got to have no college degree to know how to do it.
Chavo Guerrero has a college degree from UTEP.
Good high backdrop from UTEP. Who did UTEP ever beat? Whoa!
They won the NCAA basketball championships at one time under Coach Don Haskins.
At one time. Yeah, at one time, other people used to rule the UWF till the Freebirds came here. And the Libyans got him rocking and reeling. After that backdrop, two good forearms, another shoulder tackle reversal by Guerrero. There's a backdrop of his own. Now, that's a smart move. People wonder why he's begging for time to take away the momentum, but boy, he must have some power in them legs to monkey flip a man 275.
Chavo certainly not intimidated.
Their forearm, you'll see a lot of the European wrestlers use that. Chavo does do extensive traveling, and he learns a bunch of styles, and there's an example. That's Savat kick. He's a big star in Japan, and he's learned a lot from those Orientals. Of course, he'd have to learn a lot from somebody being a Mexican. Whoa! Good forearm. Traded by Guerrero. Went to shoot him in. There's a reversal. High up. Whoa! Body press off the second. Nope.
I thought he had him.
He didn't hook the leg. There's a punch to the gut by the Libyan. Went for a slam. Guerrero went behind. Went to slam him. No, he didn't have the strength. Yes, he did. He hooked him.
Tremendous. A tremendous maneuver by Chavo Guerrero.
Well, look, I'm going to get out of here. It's obvious they ain't got the guts. Me and my brothers should just leave. And if they got the guts, we'll see them in the ring on the six-man.
Ladies and gentlemen, Hacksaw Duggan takes on Savannah Jack. We'll be at ringside, and we'll be right back.
Hasta aquí. Necesitamos su apoyo. You know, Tommy, I'll tell you about Houston. This is Houston, Texas, baby. A lot of things that went down there throughout the history of professional wrestling, and one thing that went down there was one heck of a fight. It was such a fight that the security guards and the people had me by the hair trying to pull me off Eddie Gilbert. And they were trying to pull you off of Sting, but it didn't happen. And the blood flowed like wine, brother, right there in the Sam Houston Coliseum, and I guarantee you this right now. No disqualification, brother. The titles are held up. The people have seen exactly what you've done, Eddie Gilbert, Hot Stuff International, and Hyatt International. You know, Tommy, we know that those factors are in there because I've been hit in the face with powder, you've been hit with the face with a Gucci bag, and they've done everything to keep those belts. But, brother, let me tell you something about Houston. Eddie Gilbert, if you don't know, Steve, let me tell you about it. John Tatum, Missy, listen up, baby. Listen up, because I want to say something right now. Those people are going to tell on you when you try to come in from behind. And it's going to be a fight in Houston, so you guys better train. You know, I understand, Tommy, that they're bragging, that they're fighting fit. Well, one thing about it, when you get in the ring with the Fantastics, and it's all said and done, you're going to be fighting fair and fit for nothing, because with the support of the people, we're going to walk out there with those title belts, and we're going to walk out there with blood on our hands, and it's not going to be ours, and it's not going to be a pretty sight, Eddie. So you better take you, Missy, John Tatum, and all the rest of them and bring them on. We got a lot of friends in the back like Hacksaw, Jim Duggan, Terry Taylor.
That's right. You know, Hyatt International, Hot Stuff International, y'all riding high horses now. It's called Sweet Revenge. Sam Houston Coliseum. That's exactly what it's going to be.
Friday, September 5th, you will see a steel cage battle. You will see 2 title matches. You will see 2 additional tag battles on top of that. But the one title match that's going to draw all the attention along with that tag team title match will be for the TV title match as Terry Taylor, the dangerous and feared one-man gang.
Yeah, and he's also very, very big, as everybody knows. There is going to be a cage match. It looks like September 5th is going to be a night to see who's going to survive in the UWF. I've had this title for 4 months now, and everybody's been behind me 100%. And if I've ever needed your support ever before, I am really going to need it against the one-man gang. Now, Akbar's made himself perfectly clear. He wants to run the Universal Wrestling Federation, and he feels like he has the big guns to do it. But he doesn't have the titles. He's not in position now to where he can control the bargaining. So to make a long story short, this is going to be one of the longest nights of my life, and I know that Akbar is going to do anything he can through the one-man gang to get to this. So I know my hands are full, my work is cut out for me, but the fans have been good to me, and I love you for your support, and I'm going to need it because I think with your support, I can take this big guy out because he has to wrestle this away from me, and I'm not so sure that he can do just that.
So good luck, Terry, as he goes up against one-man gang for the Mid-South for the Universal Wrestling TV title, and we're hoping that Sensational Terry Taylor will be one of the many favorite wrestlers who will be here early signing autographs that night.
Yes, sir. I'm looking forward to it.
Friday, September 5th, Sam Houston Coliseum when Houston Wrestling returns to action.
Ladies and gentlemen, introducing from Savannah, Georgia, at 255 pounds, Savannah Jack, along with the one-man gang and General Skandor Akbar.
Ladies and gentlemen, a lot of people, when this challenge was issued last week, wanted to accept it. And I'm talking about such athletes as the Missing Link, Ted DiBiase and Dr. Death, Terry Taylor, Chavo, Guerrero, many of them. But the man that has signed the contract and will be coming to the ring in just a few moments, the big man from Glens Falls, New York, Hacksaw Jim Duggan. And he has staged a war, and it has raged and raged for the one-man gang. He wants anybody in Akbar's arsenal, and there he is from Glens Falls.
And it's breaking loose right here. All 3 men, Akbar, Savannah Jack, and the one-man gang, working on Hacksaw Duggan. Duggan knocks Akbar down. But they're getting the big man off his feet. Duggan is in a tremendously precarious position here. Savannah Jack with that whip. And it's Savannah Jack that's whipping Duggan with that leather strap. Akbar, the one-man gang, all 6'9", 450 pounds. And the crowd coming to its feet. Coming by there, you see Dark Journey. And there's the Missing Link. The Link is coming to the ring. The Missing Link. He hates Akbar and the one-man gang with a vengeance. Look at the head. And the Missing Link and Hacksaw Duggan taking over on the Savannah Jack and the one-man gang. Out goes Jack. Out goes the one-man gang. The Missing Link and Hacksaw Duggan have cleaned house on the Universal Wrestling Federation. Dark Journey brought the Missing Link. The Wild Man is in the ring. And big Hacksaw Duggan is still standing tall in the Universal Wrestling Federation. Akbar and his troops are heading to safer ground. What a crowd! What an ovation! Hacksaw Duggan and the Missing Link. Duggan stomping on Akbar's turban. And look at the Link, his version of the stomp. The one-man gang and Savannah Jack don't look too excited to get back in the ring. Duggan's the winner by disqualification. Look at Akbar. Listen to this crowd. Listen to this chant. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be back. The TV title will be on the line right after this timeout.
important to point out right here, Bobby Fulton, one of the wrestlers who trained him, was Wild Bull Curry. And so you can see those wallops showing their effect.
Wild Bull Curry had many a match, they tell me, in that cage that we're going to see. That's got to bring back so many great memories to the longtime fans here. I know when Dr. Death asked that about that cage, there was a twinkle in Paul Bosch's eye. It's like he could remember all 8 matches that were in that exact cage. And the thing about it, the cage match originated right here in Houston, I'm told. Cyclone fence and all Friday night, and the tag titles. And look at Fulton with a big right hand to Hot Stuff Eddie Gilbert. And Gilbert may be sipping soup out of a straw because they have hammered it around his head for several moments now. But don't count him out. He's a great athlete.
That he is. Now, Hot Stuff Eddie Gilbert and Sting, they do make a formidable team, as evidenced by the fact that they were able to gain the UWF Tag Team title and belt. There'd be a lot of debate and controversy that they wouldn't have been able to do it without the help of Missy Hyatt. But they've been able to hold on those belts until that wild, controversial showdown that caused the belts to be held up. But the issue will be settled this Friday night.
It sure will. Right here in Houston this Friday night. We hope that you'll make your weekend plans early and include the exciting back-to-school special with free pictures and the autograph party that starts at 6:30. 6:30 for the autograph party. So bring the family out. Come on down. Seats are affordable. And it's going to be a big, big night of excitement, something you just don't want to miss.
So the crowd started chanting, Terry, 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 trying to encourage Taylor to rise to the occasion. They know that he's one of these wrestlers, much like the Fantastics, that respond to that crowd noise. And victory, well, that was Sting that almost was able to come out with a victory on that time. He was 1 count short. Taylor now taking advantage of a confused Sting. Sting thought he had that 3rd count.
He sure did. And if he had not been so strong, he'd have been pinned right there, but he did make the tag. And then comes the opportunist, the master of the cheap shot, Hot Stuff Eddie Gilbert. And everybody that thinks that Eddie Gilbert's just got a business relationship with Missy, I think they need to reevaluate their opinion, because that's just, that's a volatile situation. Anyway, that's their business, I suppose.
Hollywood John Tatum, with an interview that took place in the Coliseum, still insists that Missy Hyatt's his woman.
He sure does. He's adamant about it, as a matter of fact. There's the tag. Bobby Fulton in there, and boy, I tell you what, he and his partner both a total disdain for Sting and Hot Stuff Eddie Gilbert.
That's Tommy Rogers, and he comes in to help Fulton take care of business.
The referee's in a tough spot here.
As it looks like Fulton working over Gilbert in the corner. He finds a vacant corner to throw him, but Fulton had too much momentum. He couldn't slow down, and he saw Hot Stuff get out of the way. As Gilbert, as so many times before, has proven that he is a crafty individual.
Now, Gilbert's made the tag, and I thought he was going to... He did leave the ring. I guess I shouldn't prejudge him. Beautiful standing vertical suplex by Jack Victory. The Victory, they show their arrogance. Now, if he'd have cradled the leg, he may have had a pinfall right there. Now, that's a cheap shot. He's inviting trouble, and Terry Taylor just took the invitation.
Fulton's in a bad way. He's in the wrong corner at the wrong time. Tommy Rogers trying to rescue his good friend and partner. He saw that the odds were not in his favor, 3 against 1. They saw they were setting Fulton up as Rogers were able to quickly get in there. But look at Sting as he bears down on Fulton. As Carl Fergie trying to gain control in the ring, Sting took full advantage of the situation.
You know, Pete, they tell me that tickets are really going fast for this Friday night's big event, but great seats are still available. 19 Carolina will be open Monday morning.
That's Labor Day. We will be open Labor Day for this huge card.
So the fans, if you're off work on Monday on Labor Day, you might want to drop by 1919 Caroline and get your tickets. And I'll tell you what, that's a great place if you're a wrestling fan, just to stand in the lobby, get your tickets, look at all the history and but they will be open Labor Day for ticket sales at 1919 Caroline. Get your tickets early, and we really like to work with the children, and they're going to get to meet their favorite stars. like Bobby Fulton, and he'll be under a lot different circumstances than he is right now.
Quick exchange as Fulton throws a punishing wallop. One right after another, and the crowd now cheering Fulton. You can see him inching his way to the corner, but Hot Stuff was so quick. He wanted to make sure that tag didn't take place.
He sure did. That was a good move by Eddie Gilbert. Oh, man, what a clothesline. He really planted that clothesline. You see Gilbert got the impetus off the ropes. Now look at him strut. I think that is an extension of his personality.
Hot Stuff now missed that time, but Fulton sure did. He caught him squarely upside the head as Fulton now realizes he's got to get to the corner. He's got two great teammates ready to help him out. Victory made sure he didn't quite make it. That elbow to the head is trying their best to keep Fulton away from Rogers and Taylor. Fulton with that driving boot as he gets there, and in comes Tommy Rogers, and
Fulton went all the way over, Pete, all the way over and out to the floor right after the tag was made. He really took a tumble on the concrete. And look at those drop kicks. This young man can drop kick. There's nobody in wrestling that gets higher with more explosion than Tommy Rogers. Terry Taylor opening up. The TV champion is on fire. See what he's made of.
And as Terry Taylor...
Oh, look, Rogers went outside too, Pete. I'm sorry, excuse me.
Well, that's all right. It's hard to call 6 men as they continue their battles. We've got Sting and we've got Fulton in the ring. We've got Jack Victory driving those boots of Bobby Fulton, who I don't think is fully recovered from going over that top rope, Jim, as Taylor ducked over the double clothesline, but he couldn't. That time he didn't see it coming, and then Taylor crashes outside the ring.
All the way outside is Terry Taylor. What a drop kick all the way outside. The Fantastic Shoney, they're ready for that title challenge Friday night.
And that's some of the championship tag team combination right there. And they got the 1, 2, 3. They are ready for Friday. Sam Houston Coliseum, the back-to-school special. Don't miss that night of wrestling action. The winner of this match, and Terry Taylor and the Fantastics. We hope you don't make your plans to be at the Coliseum. You don't want to miss that night of action.
Be there early. The autograph party starts at 6:30 as the Fantastics leave the ring. You got 2 title matches and the mixed tag. Dark Journey and will be wrestling for the first time in her career, and you're going to see it right here in Houston Friday night. We hope to see you there.
Television title. Introducing first the challenger with Missy Hyatt from Hollywood at 241 pounds, Hollywood John Tatum.
Terry Taylor making his way to the ring, ladies and gentlemen. There you see Missy Hyatt and Hollywood John Tatum. What a phenomenal crowd we have here. They're so noisy.
And the current UWF television champion from Vero Beach, Florida, 232 pounds, Terry Taylor. This match once again the UWF television title, 1 fall or television time remaining.
Terry Taylor holding the Universal Wrestling Federation Television Championship, entitling him to be the #1 contender for Terry Bam Bam Gordy's UWF Heavyweight Championship, as John Tatum with some verbal dueling with Terry Taylor. Missy Hyatt decked out in gold, and Tatum will not have to invite Terry Taylor to her fisticuffs, but one time. Taylor has held the television title very proudly for quite some time and turned back the challenges of some of the greatest athletes in professional wrestling. And this strange arrangement involving Missy, Hot Stuff, and Hollywood John Tatum. There you see Missy at ringside without Hot Stuff, who I really thought, to be very honest with you, would be here at ringside for this matchup. But if you remember last week in the UWF Tag Team Championship match, Tatum did not come out until the latter stages of that contest, and Tatum went to the elbow. Terry Taylor moves out of the way. Great arm drags by Taylor, and Hollywood John I tell you, he gets the darndest look on his face, and look at Missy. She realizes that if Tatum could upset Terry Taylor for the television title, listen to her urging Hollywood John to get backing. Listen to her whine. I can't hardly stand to listen to her. Some of the features we've done have been real experiences, I'll tell you. And I wish I could give you some insight on what's going on in that triangle, but I really don't know if anybody has the answer with the exception of the participants. There it is. There's, in my opinion, I'm sure yours too at home, the Gucci bag that was the deciding factor in the UWF Tag Team Championships leaving the Fantastics. Now that title has been held up in limbo, so to speak, as a result of last week's matchup. Backing into the corner. Taylor blocking Tatum. And Taylor with another hip toss and a beautiful drop kick by Terry Taylor. Taylor with that scoop slam on Hollywood John. Taylor going for the pin very quickly, and Hollywood John reeling from the offensive onslaught of Terry Taylor, who in the opinion of many, and I have to agree, one of the top 3 or 4 professional athletes in wrestling today. Hollywood John Tatum wants to be friends. That's obviously not very sincere. Don't forget, coming up this Sunday night, the big national television taping spectacular at the Tulsa Convention Center. A phenomenal crowd here. I suggest get your tickets early. This Sunday afternoon, 2 o'clock, Oklahoma City's beautiful Myriad Center. Phenomenal card. Dog Patch USA on Labor Day at high noon. Big events in the state of Texas and Houston, Sam Houston Coliseum, and out in West Texas and El Paso, Amarillo, and Lubbock, as Missy Hyatt is chastising Terry Taylor. And to Terry's credit, he has really not let Missy's interference, verbal interference, really, I don't think it's altered his game plan whatsoever. Tatum with a right hand. With a thunderous right to the jaw of Terry Taylor. That caught him flush on the jaw. Stinging left by Hollywood John Tatum against the reigning UWF television champion. Hollywood John extremely proud of the results that just received on Terry Taylor, as Missy Hyatt is happy as well. Near fall. Tatum had the leg grapevine. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, great reversal by Terry Taylor. Much to the delight of these some 8,000 fans in the Tulsa Convention Center. Terry Taylor, so sound fundamentally. A supreme strategist in the ring. A young man that certainly has his sights set on the #1 title in all the land. The UWF Heavyweight Championship, currently held by the awesome Terry Bam Bam Gordy. We'll be taking a commercial break, ladies and gentlemen, in just a few moments. Terry Taylor with the arm barred, the hammerlock on Hollywood John Tatum. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be back. Don't go away. We'll be back with more of the UWF television title after this brief federation. Jim Ross back with you at the jam-packed Tulsa Convention Center. This battle for the UWF television title. The challenger, Hollywood John Tatum, having his arm punished by the champion, Terry Taylor. A very closely fought encounter here on the UWF. As I said, the stakes in this match extremely high. Remember now, the man that holds the television title is the #1 contender for the UWF Heavyweight Championship, and a cheap shot by Hollywood John Tatum. And ladies and gentlemen, making his way to ringside and joining Missy Hyatt is Hot Stuff Eddie Gilbert. The same basic MO as we saw last week when Hollywood John came out to assist. And the clothesline off the second rope. This could very easily be it right here. Lateral press. Tatum grabs the leg of Taylor. The arm was coming down to the 3 count, and frustration covers the face of Hollywood John Tatum, who is viciously back on the attack of Terry Taylor. You can bet that Hyatt and Hot Stuff International have a superb game plan in store for this situation. It's really unfolding here, but right now Hollywood John really doesn't need any help. A superb athlete is John Tatum. And Terry Taylor fighting to keep the #1 position in the UWF. Another clothesline by Hollywood John Tatum. Tatum was somewhat hesitant there of the lateral press. Taylor kicking out, another near fall. Taylor with a pretty predicament on Tatum, but only a 1 count. Terry Taylor explosive, but Tatum back to the attack. John Tatum stomping away at Terry Taylor. The UWF television title hangs in the balance. Talk about rankings. The debut of the UWF computerized top 10 right here next week, the official top 10. Another near fall, and Tatum is pulling out all stops. And Missy is not only, I think, getting frustrated somewhat with referee Carl Fergie, but also perhaps with Hollywood John Tatum. A very impatient, a very spoiled young lady. Remember, Eddie Gilbert has come to the ring. Terry Taylor fighting back. Terry Taylor and Hollywood John Tatum. A big roundhouse left by Tatum, and Taylor strikes back. What a battle on the UWF. Terry Taylor with a neck breaker. Terry Taylor reaching way down. He knows it's on the line. He's got to get on the offensive. It's the 4th quarter for Taylor and Tatum. Vicious knee to the head. Right to the forehead of John Tatum. And Tatum is motionless on the canvas. Big right hand by Taylor. Tatum is standing. Boom. Taylor with a kick to the side of the head. And Tatum swinging wildly. Taylor with another sharp right, and he's down. And the crowd roars its approval. This is the Universal Wrestling Federation. The excitement abounds in its capacity here in Tulsa. Taylor with a standing suplex. Taylor with a hitting predicament there. A little late and great biting the leg. Oh! Tatum dropped down, and Taylor right across the steel cable. Remember, it's steel cable inside the rubber there. The rubber ring ropes covered in rubber. I'll get it right up. I'll apologize, ladies and gentlemen. It's just hard to follow this action. You've got to be at the next UWF event in your area. This is the kind of action you'll see. And Taylor with a 5-arm. Yes, sir. Taylor's got him with a 5-arm. And look at Missy Hyatt. Get her out of the ring. She has no business in there with that Gucci bag, especially. Missy Hyatt, look at. She needs to get out of there.
Referee Carl Fergie's got to assert himself here. And Tatum with a knee, and it wipes out Missy as well. Tatum with a cheap shot on Terry Taylor, and Taylor is in deep, deep trouble. Tatum motioning to Eddie Gilbert. What's Gilbert doing in the corner over there, the far side of the ring? He's got more in his hand. You can see it there. The referee, he got the powder in Tatum's face. It backfired. Gilbert threw powder, and it got in Tatum's face. 1, 2, 3. Terry Taylor is the winner, and he's still the champion. It backfired. Hot stuff, Eddie Gilbert and Missy Hyatt's plan backfired. Yes, sir, there's the champion. Terry Taylor is still the champion, and look at Missy Hyatt. She is frustration personified. Her plan, Eddie Gilbert's plan, it backfired. Ladies and gentlemen, Missy's upset. Tatum's going to be upset. And we're going to be right back with more UWF action. We've got time for some of the 6 men, and we'll be right back. Don't you go away.
Never seems to fail. Something always happens. Whenever Hot Stuff International is on a roll, somebody has got to stick their nose where it doesn't belong. It all started with Bill Watts thing. You remember that. It all started with Bill Watts when he took his baseball bat and ran all the rest of our stable out of here. Well, he thought he had me down there, but no. Along came the beautiful and pretty Missy Hyatt, and she came along with the cash and a little money and got my morale back. And I told everybody I'd come back, and I did. Sting and myself came in against the Fantastics, and we beat the Fantastics and took the UWF Tag Team Championship belts away from them. Now, we showed you people what gracious champions we really are. We showed you what nice guys we could be by giving them a right on television. And right on television, my father, Tommy Father Knows Best Gilbert, got right down and counted 1, 2, 3. The match was over. He raised my hand, gave us the belt. We get to the back and find out later that the UWF is holding up the belt. That means the Fantastics don't have the belts. We don't have the belts. The showdown is coming in Houston, Texas at the Sam Houston Coliseum. One team is going to walk out the tag team champions. And people, if I've got to sit down and think a long, long, hard time, and you know when Hot Stuff puts his mind to it, I can come up with the greatest plan in professional wrestling. We will again walk out of the ring in Houston, Texas, the UWF Tag Team Champions.
The Universal Wrestling Federation TV title and belt, Terry Taylor will have the biggest challenge of his career up against one-man gang.
Well, first of all, UWF Championship seems to elude Devastation Incorporated simply because Terry Gordy doesn't have any guts. But let's get down to Terry Taylor. If it takes beating Terry Taylor to get a shot at that UWF, well, we shall do so. And Terry Taylor, if you're gullible enough and you're a glutton for punishment, if you want to get beat and beat bad, well, I got the original punk slapper right here, the one-man gang, and here's a man that walks tall on Halstead Street, Chicago. So come on, Terry Taylor.
Well, let me tell you something. Terry Taylor looks like a punk, and I want nothing better to slap his punk face and walk out the new champion. These people, they've been asking me, one-man gang, why have you turned against your country? Why are you with General Akbar? Well, let me tell you people something. The good old I don't have any loyalties. When I come back from Vietnam, none of you people showed me nothing. You didn't take me in, so I don't care. All I want is the money, and I'm coming out the TV champion September the 5th right here in Houston, no doubt about it.
One-man gang up against Terry Taylor for the Universal Wrestling Federation TV title and belt.
The Coffin Convention Center, Jim Ross back with you. We're going to keep it here as long as we possibly can. 6-man tag action. The fabulous Freebirds, Michael Hayes, Terry Gordy, and Buddy Roberts.
And it's going to be a war, ladies and gentlemen, so don't you go away. Big UWF tag title matchup right here next week on television. The fantastic, I guess, Hot Stuff Eddie Gilbert Sting right here on the program next week. It has been signed. The debut of our computer UWF Top 10 will also be on the program.
Ladies and gentlemen, from Bad Street, at the combined weight of 756 pounds, the fabulous Freebirds!
Well, the music. Born in the USA. Ted DiBiase, Cowboy Bill Watts, and Steve Dr. Death Williams should be making their way to the ring momentarily. What an hour we've had here on the UWF. We hope that you'll be with us this Sunday night, our next television taping. Wait a minute, there's Cowboy Bill Watts, Dr. Death, and Ted DiBiase. And they're coming in from the opposite side of the ring, and it is breaking down right here on the UWF. It's war in the squared circle. Dr. Death sends Gordy all the way over the top. Ted DiBiase working over Buddy Roberts, and Cowboy Bill Watts with Michael Hayes on the outside. Six-man tag team action. Michael Hayes trying to climb back into the ring. Watts with a right hand. The big cowboy from Bixby let loose with Michael Hayes. Whatever it takes, and whatever kind of match it takes, and it's breaking loose. My gosh, what a brawl. DiBiase and Williams and Watts, they want the Freebirds in any kind of combination. We don't have a lot of time. We'll keep it here as long as possible. I wish you could be with us here in Tulsa. It's pandemonium, no doubt about it. It's pandemonium in Tulsa. The Freebirds, no hurry to get back in the ring. Dr. Death, he wants any Freebird.
It's been good to have you with us, ladies and gentlemen, and see you at the Sam Houston Coliseum on Friday night. Just remember that our ticket office at 1919 Caroline is open Labor Day from 9 to 4 and open each and every day of the week, and that there are 7 great bouts with 20 top wrestling stars at the Sam Houston Coliseum. And this symbolic fence that I am holding is what will be wrapped around the ring, the Houston fence, where nobody has ever escaped from it or gotten into it. We'll see you at the Coliseum Friday night.
Houston Wrestling was brought to you by...
Up in the ring, we have a match coming your way. 1 fall, 20-minute time limit. Introducing first the man in the fatigue pants, the unorthodox style of the Libyan. And he's quickly brought down to the mat by Jumpin' Joe Savoldi as they waste little time in starting action in this first match. My name is Peter Burkholz, along with promoter Paul Bosch, who will be helping me with the blow-by-blow description. Carl Ferg is your referee. And once again, Paul, Jumpin' Joe Savoldi, a great contrast in styles.
A great contrast because this man looks like the original Joe Savoldi, who came into prominence back about 1932. But you got to remember, his father was also world's junior heavyweight champion, Joe Savoldi's father, so he has good background, solid credentials to present against any man, even a man as big as the Libyan.
Well, Jumpin' Joe Savoldi turned in an impressive victory a couple weeks ago when he wrestled here last in the Sam Houston Coliseum up against Gustavo Mendoza, and he's quickly becoming a big crowd favorite.
The leg dive worked well, and now he comes in here to make good use of the foot to try to bruise the thigh, and that, of course, always slows the man up. The Libyan, for a big man, is fast. He knows what to do in the ring, and there are a lot of people who would like to see it done to him.
Jumpin' Joe Savoldi drove both those knees in the inside of the thighs as he continued to try to keep the Libyan off balance. I'd like to invite you to stay tuned because bigger and better Houston Wrestling, 2 hours strong right here on Channel 39 Gold. And for those of you who will be watching this weekend at our new time, I'd like to remind you that we're back to our regular time next weekend, Saturday nights 10 p.m. till midnight, Sunday mornings from 10 a.m. till noon.
We might remind them, too, that wrestling will be on Sunday. The next time it's at the Coliseum, Sunday, the 21st of September at 7 o'clock.
It'd be a super Sunday in September for sure.
And Joe Savoldi showed good presence there and good balance when he tossed him over, and the Libyans claimed that he was pulled by the hair. The trunks just doesn't work because Savoldi couldn't throw that much weight by grabbing him by the trunks.
I'd like to encourage all wrestling fans out there to stay tuned, because later on this program you're going to see one of the most exciting lumberjack matches ever between Dr. Death and Ted DiBiase up against Michael Hayes and Buddy Freebirds. That's later on this program. Also, you will see a mixed match that features the missing link in Dark Journey up against Hollywood, John Tatum, and Missy Hyatt. All this and much, much more later on in this program right here on 39 Gold.
Savoldi gets up slowly from that body slam, as well he might, because body slams take it out of you. They take it out of your body. They make you gasp for breath. They make it hard to breathe. And, of course, there's always the possibility of an injury that's going to come from the fall itself, besides the accumulation of punishment.
With the Libyan displaying some of his strength there, he doesn't have a well-defined upper physique, but he's got a lot of powerful strength in that upper body. He has an unorthodox style. Once again, he tried to pick him on that crotch hold, but Jumpin' Joe Savoldi, using that quickness and agility, that's one of his main assets, almost was able to pull the 1-2-3.
A little too much weight. A little too much weight underneath to hold that much down when it's doubled up, like coiling up a spring. And the Libyan was able to use those strong legs of his to throw him off. Savoldi learned something of that move. And, well, he might learn something, because he is the kind of a wrestler that uses his head, and learned something, I think, in every match he's been in.
Houston Wrestling returns to Sam Houston Coliseum on Sunday, September 21st at 7 p.m. A great lineup of matches have already been signed, and people are talking about that big UWF heavyweight title showdown between One Man Gang and Terry Bam Bam Gordy. Two big, rugged individuals battling head-on for a big prize.
There's a twisting arm lock, and he's working around to keep the pressure against the elbow so that it keeps the arm straight, but the Libyan made the move and caught it beautifully on the chin, and Savoldi was ready for the arm takedown. Did it well.
Very well. And, Jumpin' Joe Savoldi, a well-conditioned athlete, and that's one reason he's able to keep moving inside the ring. He knows that's one of his biggest assets in his wrestling capabilities, and he plans to stay in top condition so he can